Which is a better society? A society that focuses more on the individual, like Western countries in the United States, or perhaps a collective society like Eastern countries like China that focus more on the group and less on the individual? This week's Parsha, we start out with counting the Jewish people again. Now, you'll notice that the number is the exact same number that we got to last time we counted the Jewish people in the middle of the book of Shemot, which means possibly a year beforehand, a book and a half before this, we get to the same exact number. So either there's some miracle, or possibly it's the same exact counting. They counted the Jewish people twice in two different manners. The first manner of the way of counting was counted with the machatzit shekel. Everybody brings a coin. It's the same coin, weighs the same amount, has the same value, and the other option, and then later on, it is melted down, and by weight, we know how many Jews there were. And the other one is the one that we do this week, is we count each family. Lerosh Beit Av, we count over and over. Here are their names, here's the family, and we count it over and over again. And while counting it, we see that it took much longer to count the people, so we get up to it in the book of Bamidbar. Now, while we get to this, the question is, well, why count in two different ways? I think the Torah is trying to tell us something very, very important. The Torah is trying to tell us that there's sometimes that it's important to count each one as an individual, like our week's Parsha, to tell us each one is an entire world. Every person is unique and special, and sometimes to remind us that we are part of a collective. Whenever what we're going through these days is we're going through discussions of returning the hostages versus the elimination of Hamas and what that means. And everybody is blaming the other side and saying, your side doesn't care about the individual, while your side doesn't care about the klal, about the group. And this is not a question that I have an answer to, but rather an important statement of we're not on opposite sides of the discussion, but rather we're on opposite sides of the same exact coin. And they're both extremely important. They're both important for Hashem. And that's why God makes us count in different ways. Sometimes to remember that the group is more important, sometimes to remember that the individual is. Shabbat Shalom.